Valorant has a lot of skins, and today we're going to be taking the top 3 skins per category for every single gun updated for 2023. Every skin that's been released up until today is up for grabs. Now, usually the votes come from my community, but in this case, I'm doing my personal top picks, and by the end of it, you'll probably be triggered and say, never let bro cook again, but I digress. Hopefully some of you will agree with these choices. Starting off with the classic, the free gun, my top 3 picks go as follows. Number 1, the Spectrum Classic. Something about this skin is just super clean, especially the white and black variant. I love the effects that go around it, like the shooting. I also like the sound effects, and you can jam to tunes while doing so. The only thing really going against it is it's expensive, but it is Valorant, so it is hard to dock too many points in this category. However, in my opinion, Spectrum deserves 1 out of the 3 spots. The next spot goes to the RGX 11Z Pro Classic. Now, I like the RGX 11Z. I think it was one of those guns that just worked basically across the board no matter what gun you put it on, because it has a base model that is extremely clean but still changes the gun a lot. Then you have the 4 variations, and on top of that you can change the RGB color while in game, so you kind of have 4 times 4 when it comes to the variations, and they didn't upcharge the price for those variations. For that reason, I think it deserves a spot. And the final one, this one might be controversial because it is getting old. One of the first classics to ever hit Valorant after release, the Prime Classic. I absolutely adore the Prime Classic to kind of a ridiculous point. Not only does it sound good, not only is it a great finisher, not only is it 1775, but till now, in a completely unique reload that no other classic stands a chance against. The next gun we have is the Shorty. Now, the Shorty, you know, everyone can have their own opinion. I think the top 3 skins are kind of clear. There's less competition here. I think number 1 should go to the Araxis Shorty. I think the Araxis skin line in general is extraordinarily unique for obvious reasons. You got that kind of like, this is a reptile skin scale thing going on, and no other gun really replicates that. If you don't like that style, then for sure you're not going to agree. I think the second one goes to the Oni Shorty. Something about it is just still clean. Like Oni, especially even 1.0, is just extraordinarily clean, from the color waves to the art design to everything about it. Keep it simple, keep it classy, and keep it cool. Oni does all 3. The last one, I think most of you will agree. I hope most of you agree. The Prelude to Chaos Shorty. This is a great Shorty. There's something about that snap when it comes up and smack in your hand at the top of it. That sounds weird, but regardless, the Prelude to Chaos Shorty gets the 3rd spot. Next up, we have the Frenzy. Now, the Frenzy does actually have quite a few good skins. However, number 1 spot goes to Prime Frenzy. Yes, the Prime comes in again. There's just something about that reload. Just nothing about it. There's something about it. Like, Valorant has failed to make something nearly as unique, or at least when they do, it's quite rare. So Prime Frenzy takes the 1st spot. The 2nd spot, this one's definitely controversial. I'm giving it to the Origin Frenzy, and hear me out, because I think the Origin skin line itself is very nice, it's very clean, it's modern looking, but it got bogged down by sound design quite a lot, right? The Vandal sounds way too loud, and it's too bassy in the ear, but most people agree that the overall styles, the gold version, the green and black version, and the spinning while inspecting, you know, talking about unique like the Prime, it has an extremely unique inspect animation. I don't believe the Frenzy suffers from the same audio issues. I actually think the Frenzy sounds quite pleasant. So for that reason, I'm giving the 2nd place spot to Origin Frenzy. The 3rd place spot goes to quite a classic. Some people are going to love it, some are going to hate it. I actually think the Elder Flame Frenzy deserves a spot here. Something about the little dragon coming up just was so natural. It's one of the most natural Elder Flame skins, and it's just for that reason. The animation works so well with the Frenzy. Next up, we have the Ghost. All right, the Ghost is insanely populated when it comes to skins. Number 1, I'm giving it to Gaia's Vengeance. I love this Ghost skin, man. Something about it is extremely clean. I can't even say something about it. It's the way the light flickers around while you're reloading or shooting. It stays clean, but it taters between keeping it clean but going over the top with some sort of fantasy, and all the color waves, in my opinion, look fantastic. Speaking of fantasy, the 2nd place spot goes to the Ruination Ghost. I don't know how many people are going to agree with this one. I love the classic version, the dark blue and green. We don't have a color wave like that anymore. At least I think that's the only one we have, and when you pull it out, you got that very, very mystical dark coat come around it. I think it looks really nice. Similar to Gaia's Vengeance, that mixture of clean but still high fantasy with a lot of effects. And 3rd place goes to the Reaver Ghost. Same idea here, clean but high fantasy with a nice reload animation, an extremely unique one, of course, similar to Prime. I like these very, very unique reload animations, so I would give it to Reaver. All the color waves are clean as well. With that being said, I have a massive honorable mention that tied with Reaver. I just couldn't personally choose between them. The Sovereign Ghost. It's a classic. The only reason Reaver won is I just think all the color waves are nice on Reaver, while on Sovereign Ghost. Not every single one is my personal taste. That's the only reason, but honorable mention to the Sovereign Ghost. Next up, we got a fan favorite, the Sheriff. And yep, I'm about to absolutely get people so mad here. Okay, first place goes to Arcane Sheriff. Of course, the OG of that amazing little swing pullout and the way it's held. Now, Arcane Sheriff is also an exclusive skin, which bumps up its rarity a bit and makes it a little bit more special to me. Again, it's my personal opinion. I have an attachment to Arcane Sheriff, so it takes a spot. The second place one is a skin I literally just recently purchased, and most of you will hate me for, the Mage Punk Sheriff. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this skin that shoots so straight and sounds so nice while just looking rustic and appealing to me. The Mage Punk Sheriff is a beauty, and I don't know why, but it's taken a spot. Most of you are going to disagree, but it's just taking a spot. The last spot goes to the Neo Frontier Sheriff. Similar to the Arcane, it's got that unique animation, but it just added a little bit more flair. But the real reason it even takes a spot at all is just the fact that unupgraded, you get a beautiful animation, but a cowboy gun, and then upgraded, you get a high sci-fi shooter that looks fantastic. And for that reason, I chose it at the third spot. Moving away from the Sheriffs, next we go on to the SMG, starting with the Stinger. Now, the Stinger doesn't have too much. These are my personal picks. Prelude to Chaos Stinger, same idea. That smashing while you're reloading and the shooting, just everything about the Prelude to Chaos Stinger is by far the best Stinger in the game, period. Second place though, I would give to the Overdrive Stinger. It is the newest skin line we have, and it's very similar to Prelude to Chaos in the way of its overall design, and for similar reason, the high sci-fi look on the Stinger it maxes out. It does so well, and since I said that most of you can predict, third place goes to the RGX 11Z Pro. Same idea, that high sci-fi futuristic, give it colors, give it flair, and the Stinger just tends to shine. Moving next, we have the Spectre. Okay, the Spectre is gonna ruffle some feathers, but that's okay. First place, I'm giving it to the Recon Spectre. Listen, it is a little specific here, but it's the Recon Spectre when you equip the hand grip and the red sight. That thing shoots straighter. That thing has 10% more accuracy. It is one of the cleanest skins in the game and just goes to being like a Valorant weapon to just a Call of Duty weapon, and it just looks good. It just fits in my opinion. The next one's gonna, okay, I'm sorry, Prime Spectre. Prime Spectre, it's the reload, it's the style, it's the sound, one of the best skin lines in the game, and I cannot believe it was one of the first they ever made. Then, the one and only Singularity Spectre. Yeah, I know, most of you already are mad. Dude, I know there's so many other things, but the Singularity didn't age that great in my opinion. The knife is lame. I don't think the Phantom shoots that straight, but the Singularity Spectre just looks like a little beast. It's like a little piece of obsidian carved out that just distorts and frames and moves around, and it's very unique for that reason. Nothing like the Singularity Spectre has been made since the Singularity bundle. And now we enter the shotguns. First, we got the Bucky, and I don't think I'm gonna upset when it comes to the #1 spot, Ion Bucky. It's a classic, and for some reason, Riot just can't re-nail their classics. The Ion Bucky is a gorgeous Bucky that shoots well, sounds great, and don't worry about choosing a color because it just is what it is. Prime 2.0 Bucky, I am sorry, Prime is dominating this list, but it is not intentional. I go through the guns, I rewatch the animations, I relook at everything. Prime 2.0 had some amazing color waves for the Bucky that give it an angular and modern design. Last but not least, Gaia's Vengeance Bucky. It was probably the only 2.0 skin within that bundle that I kind of like. Just a big magical log that you blast your enemies with. That also sounds kind of weird. Anyways, moving from there, the Judge. The Judge was also easy for me. #1 spot goes to the Elder Flame Judge. It's just the Elder Flame Judge in the black variant. You got that dragon that just slips out and you're just ready to like blast people with fire. It just works. It just works. Then I'm gonna give it to the Chrono Void Judge. I think this thing looks like a mystical beast, bro. You're literally just holding an artifact that just looks so cool. And then of course the Inspector, you get to play with balls, which we all like to do. Then last place, I'm gonna give it to the Glitch Pop Judge, a classic. I don't think people are gonna disagree too much with this. All I can imagine is Glitch Pop Judge and Ray Satchels, and there you go. A million clips just went through your mind. Speaking about all these skins, you might be enticed to buy some, but they're extremely expensive. However, there is one way you can get them for free using the sponsor of today's video, Free Cash. Now, let me go ahead and explain what Free Cash is. When you sign up using my link down below, you'll have an opportunity to sort by what offers you'd like to complete, and by completing those offers, you make the bag. For example, play Genshin Impact for 7 days, you make $12 US. Or if you've been wanting to try out Uber Eats, points, you can get $15 back by doing so. Or literally just download Opera GX and you earn $1. Do something that simple 5 times and that's a Valorant gift card code just right there. For North American, Europe, wherever you are, Free Cash has you covered. And there's a ton of ways to extract that money that you're earning through offers. Could be Visa, could be Amazon, it could be PlayStation, Steam, Xbox, Nintendo, or of course Valorant gift cards. And I've tried a majority of them and I've never had problems. Also, because people have used my link in the past, I can actually keep track on how much you guys have earned. One dude has made $2,450 using my link. Another dude, $950. So yes, you can earn the bag and you can withdraw that bag using Free Cash. Use my code, use the link, and thanks to Free Cash for sponsoring today's video. As we move on to the rifles, things are going to get heated here. Starting with the Bulldog, I am going to say it's so easy. Araxis Bulldog, same idea, unique, clean. I love the purple color. It's just so unique. It's extremely unique. I love the sound. I like the reload. The whole thing looks cool to me. Then we got the Oni Bulldog. If you're looking for something a little bit more clean looking, a little bit more slick, you got gorgeous art. It looks beautiful. I don't think too many people are going to have problems with the Oni Bulldog. And then I'm actually going to give the third place to the Protocol 781A Bulldog. I actually don't like this skin line at all, but the Protocol looks good on the Bulldog when it closes and opens. If I could just turn off the voices, it would actually be a Bulldog skin I genuinely enjoy. From there, we're going on to the Guardian, the gun that has an abundance of skins that actually made it kind of hard. But for some reason, while looking through the Guardian skins, I actually think the Guardian is just a bad looking gun. Almost no skin looked that great to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and say Prime Guardian just because it goes, I know there's been a lot of Prime, but the Prime helps a lot with elongated guns because you get to bend at the main point and have the bullets come out the top instead of it being at the bottom when the gun's already very, very long. Then the Recon Guardian for the exact same reason. Having that handle, if you're lucky to get the handle as the attachment, breaks up that long form factor to give the gun some more shape. The only skin here that keeps the exact same Guardian shape during the entire time but looks somewhat good to me is the Ruination Guardian. And the reason being is because the smoke effect at the top breaks up the shape even just a little bit, which goes a long way for the Guardian. For those reasons, those are some of my favorite Guardians. Now, the next section, oh boy, the Phantom. All right, I'm ready to take on the heat. It's fine. These are my top 3. First place, Champions 2022 Phantom. Not only is it exclusive, not only is it overpriced out the wazoo, but it's just a black, red, and gold. Some of my favorite colors in the cleanest form factor possible, with, of course, the effect of when you dominate the enemies, your thing literally turns to ruby pieces, like a gem. I love the way this thing looks. It's a work of art in my opinion, and for that reason, it's one of my favorites. From there, the Oni Phantom, clean as heck. I'm not going to go over it again. The Oni is just dominating, bro. The Oni is just so damn good. If you just want a Phantom that stays looking like a Phantom with some beautiful art on it, bam. Oni. Then, okay, you guys are gonna actually hate me. It's fine at this point if you're getting bored because the Prime Phantom is just taking it. I looked for a while. I looked at the Ion. I looked at the Spectrum. I just looked at the Singular. I looked at everything and just still, no matter what I do, no matter how many times I watch it, no matter how much I want to convince myself to change up the list a little bit, the Prime Phantom still took its spot. I don't know why. Just something about it. All the colors look beautiful on the Prime 2.0. They just do. Now, there is an honorable shout out that will throw a curveball because I don't own this skin and I would never buy it because it's just too expensive and I don't love it, but I still want to give it an honorable shout out. The Radiant Entertainment System Phantom. Every variant comes with an amazing little finisher. You get to play a game on your Phantom, and overall, if someone who's preaching everything being unique, it would be unfair not to give it a shout out because at least Riot did get unique with it. Of course, I digress. They did make you burn your pocket for it, but hey, unique is unique. As we move on to the Vandals, yeah, I'm gonna ruffle some more feathers. Oh no. Oh no. You guys are gonna get so mad at this one. I apologize for the triggers. Champions 2023 Vandal, beautiful gun. I actually don't think too many people are gonna be mad at that one. Gold, black, just that gorgeous look, clean yet spicy and premium. It also exclusive, and of course, same idea, overpriced. Regardless, I really like it. I really like the Champions 2023 bundle. Not to mention both this one and the Phantom, you got music on your inspect as well, which is a huge bonus. Now the second place, listen, it's fine. It's fine. 99.999999999% of you are going to disagree with me, but the Mage Punk Vandal. I like it. Similar to the Sheriff, I just like it. I like the rustic look. I like the color waves on the Mage Punk Vandal a lot. Something about it just really nice to me, and it just looks unique. There's nothing in the same artistic spectrum as the Mage Punk, and for obvious reasons. It's not the best selling style, right? Something like Reaver, Ruination, or something more mystical or dark always sells better. But to me, the Mage Punk Vandal just hits, and it hits different. The Oni Vandal takes third place, and similar idea to the Oni Phantom. Clean, great, still feels like a Vandal. You just soften up the audio and put on some cool art, and it looks fantastic. Now, I am going to give an honorable shout out to the Reaver Vandal. It is a classic. I think it's just because I've owned and used it for so long that I can't put it in my personal top 3 because I've gotten bored of it, but all colors look good. It is a classic. It shoots straight, and similar to the Oni Vandal, it's still a clean looking Vandal. It still looks like a Vandal. We're almost there. We're almost there. But the next patch of guns are the sniper rifles. Starting with the Marshall, number 1 spot goes to the Gaia's Vengeance. I love the way this looks, similar to the Ghost, just like the overall styling of it. But then I'm giving it to the Neo Frontier Marshall for the 2nd spot. The Neo Frontier pullout animation is top tier for the Marshall. Literal top tier, beautiful, and the unupgraded style looks amazing as well. Then a classic, Sovereign Marshall is getting the 3rd spot because it is the Sovereign Marshall and it is the best mix of clean with some effects. Next we go to the Operator. The Operator is gonna also ruffle some feathers, but it's also the op, not everyone uses it. Elder Flame Operator. I think this looks great. Like, I hated how the Vandal and I don't like the knife of the Elder Flame, but the Operator looks great. It is animated very well, and until today we don't have any other creature animated operators, so its unique scale is off the chart. The Reaver Operator is amazing, and unlike the Vandal, since you don't abuse the Operator as much, that clean chrome look doesn't get old as fast, and of course you have that amazing reload animation that is played a lot slower for the slower Operator reload, so you get a lot of time to really just take in how gorgeous that animation is. Then I'm giving it to the Sentinels of Light Operator. This thing sparkles, it shines, it is a statement when you're holding it. This op is massive. Like, the Operator itself is just a large model. It is a big gun. So the Sentinels of Light, just having the whole spinning barrel and everything, looks like a unit. However, honorable shout out goes to the Forsaken Operator for being something similar to the Reaver, extremely smooth, extremely clean. From there we go on to the machine guns, a little bit boring, so I'm gonna speed run these. The Ares, I'm just choosing the Sentinels of Light, similar to the op, big gun, big spectacle. Then I'm actually going to give it to the Valiant Hero Ares. I don't like the Valiant collection almost at all, but the Ares benefits from having a gun model that has like some holes in it and changes up the overall Ares model a lot. And I actually think this one, especially in the darker variant, looks clean. Then the Oni Ares, because if you're going to use the Ares, it already doesn't look that great, so just smack some good art on it and call it a day. For the Odin, this was just so easy. Prime 2.0 Odin, great reload, looks clean, angular, modern, looks like you're shooting some sci-fi weapon. Reaver Odin, exact opposite. Go rustic, go mystical, go crazy, amazing reload. Then the Neo Frontier Odin, for, you guessed it, good animation, looks clean. It's like as if Reaver and Prime met in the middle in their timelines. You know what I mean? You got that like rustic futuristic look. So all 3 of these Odins are fantastic. Last but not least, we're going to the melees and knives of the game. Now, I am cheating in my own video. Instead of just the top 3, I'm going to be putting the top 5 knives in Valorant because it's the biggest category. There's over 100 and it deserves it. Okay, here we go. This is dislike, unsubscribe, and block me from your feed. Here we go. Number 1 spot is going to be going to Xeno Hunter Knife or the VCT Lock-In. In my opinion, these are even because they're copy pasted animations. You just choose if you like the clean aspect of the Xeno Hunter Knife or if you want some more flair with the same animation. So I'm putting these knives as one knife. I don't care. They are the ones who copy pasted the animation, not me. But that goes for the first out of 5 spots. Number 2 is actually going to the Ignite Fan. I know. I just love the fan. I liked it since the first fan, the Celestial Fan, came to Valorant. And the Ignite Fan just takes that fan base and makes it way nicer without going overboard. You get a clean blue or red flame. You get a purple aspect. You just got everything about it is pretty. In my opinion, it's just a beautiful fan. It looks really nice and it is so well animated that I wanted to give it a spot on this list. The 3rd spot goes to the Omiyaru Konotsuna. Yes, I butchered the name. It is the katana of Valorant, the only real katana of Valorant. The only downside to this, it is a large weapon. It is a very large melee, but the animation for such a large melee, they nailed it. Holding the katana like a samurai, swinging it around is satisfying, and when it comes to fulfilling a fantasy, they just nailed it. There's no other way to put it. For the 4th place, I'm cheating a little bit again. The RGX 11Z Pro Blade or the Overdrive Blade. These are actually quite even for me, and again, not my fault. Riot is the one who copy pasted, not me. Both these are fantastic fantastic looking melees. I think the overdrive blade in the red and black variant looks a little bit better than anything the RGX 11Z Pro can produce, but the RGX 11Z Pro looks better in more of its variants, and you get the RGB aspect, which makes it a tad bit more unique than the overdrive blade's electricity. That's just my opinion. I think both these are even. You just choose whatever preference you like. Now, when it comes to 5th place, I'm actually giving it to the Relic Stone Dagger. Now, the Relic Stone Dagger is very unique at the moment. It is the first, finally, by the way, dual wielding weapon that actually looks good. They're literal wings. Like, there's even a symbolic reason to be having a dual wield. It is beautifully put together with fantastic animations and a color wave that just has such a nice style to it. I don't like too much else about this 2.0 bundle, but the Relic Stone Dagger, fantastic in my opinion. Again, I'm not the most populated opinion, but I am going to give 2 honorable shoutouts. So the melee section is very large, but just because the melee section itself in the game is, well, very large. So the honorable shoutouts are going to the Champions 2021 Karambit, just because it's my favorite Karambit in the game, and I think one Karambit deserves to be on the list, and the Magepunk Spark Switch. I know the amount of Magepunk in this list is going to get me killed, but in my opinion, my favorite Karambit is the Champions 2021, and my personal favorite butterfly knife is the Magepunk Spark Switch. It's just the butterfly knife animations with a little bit more spark to it. Now, any Karambit that you prefer, like the Reaver, or any butterfly knife you prefer, like the RGX, is all valid. I think both animation sets are so good, but they fell off being top 5 because of how much copy-pasted BS Riot decided to do with them, where now they just blend in together and none of them feel that unique. So that's really what took both the Karambit and the butterfly knife off the list, the lack of uniqueness when it comes to reiterations of them, and the other 2 are on their way. Xeno Hunter, RGX both got copy paste, which is very, very unfortunate. But of course, let me know your favorite skins up until this point as of 2023, the end of 2023. Hope you guys have a good holiday season, and I'll see you next year.